হ্যালো, কেউ আছে?
Good afternoon, Surajit.
Good afternoon.
We start from 4 p.m. or we'll wait for principal ma'am.
I don't know whether Principal Madam is going to join. Arijit can tell it. Arijit?
আমি কালকে কথা বলেছি ম্যাডামের সাথে, ম্যাডাম বলেছিলেন আমি জয়েন করবো হয়তো কোনো একটা সময়। এখন সেটা শুরু থেকেই করবেন কিনা সেটা জানি না।
তাহলে আমরা শুরু করে দিই নাকি? 4টে তো বাজছে।
বেটার 4টাতে তাহলে শুরু 8টাই করব।
Okay, Atrey, you can proceed.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. All HODs, faculties, and staff members of BPPIMT family, and all the participants. Good afternoon, all. Thank you, everyone, for joining with us today. I, Atrey Sinha, welcome you all on behalf of Institutions Innovation Council and ED Cell of Poddar Institute of Management and Technology in the lecture on Call for Paper Writing and Research Report on Innovation. Now I shall introduce our today's first speaker, Dr. Arijit Saha, sir. Dr. Arijit Saha obtained his BSc in Physics from University of Calcutta in 1996. He received his BTech in 1999 and MTech in 2004, both in optoelectronics from the University College of Technology, Calcutta University. He received his PhD from the same university in January of 2013. He has more than 21 years of experience in teaching and industry. Currently, he is working as an associate professor and in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at BP Poddar Institute of Management and Technology. He is also attached as a visiting faculty in the University of Calcutta. He has 41 research publications of both international and national repute. He has authored 4 books published from famous publications like Infinity Science Press USA, University Science Press Delhi, LAP Germany, and Pearson Education. He also has authored 2 book chapters on Elsevier and Springer. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Atrey, for the nice introduction you have given. So without wasting much time, let us move to the today's topic. So please allow me to present my screen.
Yes, sir, you can present.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So our topic today, whatever Atrey has said, so we have designed our lecture in a way that is we will address different types of technical papers, okay? Because publication is a very important aspect in your career, in your higher education career, obviously. And when you are studying a professional degree like engineering, so definitely you shall try to publish at least 1 or 2 papers within your career span of 4 years in this institute, so that at the time of getting the campus interview, you will get some weightage, definitely some weightage over others, those who have the publications in their names. So definitely whenever you are going for publications, there are certain aspects which you have to keep in mind so that our publications gets accepted and we can proceed in our research career. So this is the flow of my lecture, which I will try to cover. That is, I want to discuss about what is actually a scientific or research paper. What are objectives of this scientific research paper? What are the different types of manuscripts? There are different types of manuscripts for conference, for research journals, or review papers. So what are the differences among them? Then you have definitely heard some names like impact factor, H index, I10 index. What are they? What are the implications of these things, and how can we judge in which journal I want to make a publication. That will be covered in my target journal area. And for writing any publication, what shall be our scientific language? How we will write a paper so that it has maximum chance of getting selected. Then what is the general structure of a full article? By full article, I mean here to say mainly the journal articles. Okay, so what will be the different headings and subheadings which is in general covered in this type of articles or papers? And then finally, you have to communicate with the editor of that particular journal. So what will be our cover letter? How we will write a cover letter? That is also very important. And finally, though it is written at the last, but it's one of the most important aspects that we should be very aware about plagiarism. This is a very important thing which we shall take care of. So, as I have said that what is basically a scientific research paper? So here I have written systematic investigation. So what does it mean? Actually, any systematic investigation means you have done something towards increasing.
Arijit, your voice is breaking.
Is it clear now?
It is not clearly audible.
Is it clear now, or is it breaking now also? Is it breaking? Am I audible or not? Am I audible?
No, it's not clearly audible.
Audible,
Students, do you hear that?
me, Arijit, na? I don't know.
Yes, ma'am,
Maybe
we can.
কারোর কোথায়
But তোমরা
is
শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
audible.
All others are can hear me? Others can hear me, or only Sutapa is facing the difficulty?
We can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir, you also facing some difficulty. Your voice is taking constantly.
Voice is not clear, sir, but we can hear.
Okay, Arijit, you continue, please. You continue.
Okay. Let me try it like this way. Okay. So what I was saying that what is systematic investigation? So by systematic investigation, what do we mean actually? Actually, what I want to say is that you have done something which has increased your knowledge. So that's the thing about systematic investigation. That is, we can say that any systematic investigation that is towards increasing the sum of knowledge can be termed as a research. So research means a systematic investigation which has definitely accumulated some knowledge for you. That is the research. So what is already known, definitely depending on those principles or the basic principles, we have to do something new, which is a new idea which has been generated, and that is only a systematic investigation. Okay, so it's basically we have said that organized analysis of a subject to record and disseminate information. So that is important. That's how we write it. So writing of the organized analysis of the subject to record and disseminate information or knowledge, or we can say to present a point of view on a selected topic, that is research work or research paper. So what are our objectives? Steps means what steps do I need to take before I write my paper? That is very important. Then how can I ensure that I am using proper scientific language? So proper scientific language is a very important thing. Okay, so how can I ensure that yes, I have used my proper scientific language? Then how do I build up my article properly? That is also very important. How to write the final form, that is very important. So these are the things which you should consider. And if you have information that advances your understanding, definitely in a certain field, in a certain scientific field, then you shall definitely consider publishing that. So this can be in the form of, say, for example, presenting new original results or methods, or you can say rationalizing or refining, or reinterpreting published results. That is also very important. Or even reviewing or summarizing a particular subject or field. So these are the things which we have to keep in mind, and these are the areas where we can publish. So here I have written that editors and reviewers are all busy scientists, make things easy to save their time. So whether you have a clear, useful, and exciting message for the editor and reviewer, you have presented and constructed your article in a logical manner or not, very important. And reviewers and editors can grasp the scientific significance easily because they are experts in the fields. So mind it, they are really experts. So you try to give your views very clearly. Don't give any vague thing, and that will increase possibility of acceptance. Otherwise, it might be rejected. So decide which type of manuscript is most appropriate for you. Whether you will publish a conference paper, or you will publish full articles, that is like a research paper in a journal, or you can publish definitely some review paper or perspectives, all those things. There are different types of articles. These are different types of manuscripts. You can go for any one of them. So first of all, conference paper. So what is a conference paper basically? Conference paper, when we are saying about conference paper, it is basically excellent for disseminating early works, that is early or in progress work, we can say. You have just started your work, you want to publish your results, you want to share your results with the scientific community, so you will try to publish a paper in the conference. There is no restriction as such, but typically you can, yes, there is no restriction as such, but typically you can say it will be about 5 to 10 pages or 3 to 4 figures, and about 15 to 16 references shall be there. So that is a basic general structure I have said. Need not that it has to be followed meticulously, because depending on different types of conferences, this may vary. And then what I want to say that draft your paper and submit your paper to the conference organizers as they specify. And obviously, conference paper is a good way to start a scientific research career. So I have given 2 sample titles, which are from my conference, 2 conference papers which I have published in 2 different areas. Those are these 2 things, that is asymmetrical PSF by azimuthal walls filter, which is a conference in Canada, and definitely another one which is in Calcutta, that is a new achromatic combination of birefringent plates that was held in Calcutta. So these are the 2 titles I have given, so that these things will be discussed detail by Sutapa madam later on. So I have given 2 examples only. Similarly, for example, a full paper. By full paper I mean a paper in a research journal. How will it be organized? So first of all, you have to be. This is also a very typical thing which I am saying, and it is basically what I can say general consideration. That it will be typically of 8 to 10 pages. About 5 to 6 figures will be there, and references will be more than that of conference proceedings. Like I have said that 15 to 16, here you can go for about 25 references, so that it will be easily acceptable. And this is standard for disseminating completed research findings. Actually, this is the standard. I can say that draft and submit the paper to appropriate journal, how to make a choice of a journal, that also I will discuss. And obviously, this is a good way to build a scientific research career. So I am giving 2 examples of 3 examples basically. These are also from my 3 papers. 3 of my papers I have given. So this is just a sample of how to write the titles. So that is also very important, how to write the title, so that it will generate some interest within the editors and obviously the reviewers. So review paper is another type of publication, as I have said, and it is basically a critical synthesis of a specific research topic actually. And it can be also typically 10 plus pages, we can say that, because it will be obviously a bigger one and more than 5 figures. And but the most important thing is, in case of review papers, you have to have many references. Approximately say 80 to 90 references shall be there. That is a very important thing about review paper, because review paper means you are reviewing the work, recent works and the past works also on that particular area. So more number of research literatures has to be consulted. That is why more number of references are required. It is typically solicited by the journal editors. Obviously, everybody cannot write a review paper. Sometimes they ask from you if you are an expert in that field, or you can start also with writing review paper and try to find out whether it is accepted or not. And definitely it is a good way to consolidate a scientific research career. So these are certain samples, title of the review papers. Okay, a review on image processing and image segmentation in IEEE, and in optical engineering, there is achromatic retarders in polarization optics. So these are certain examples of review papers. But you have to be very clear that citation impact, how it changes. You can see the red one. The red one is a conference paper. So you can see that has the least citation index. Okay. Then this is an article which is also having a high citation index, but the review papers are, you can see, they are having the most citation index. Why? Because most of the people, when they start their work on any particular area, they try to find out what are the different works which has already been done, or what are the recent advances in this field. So they try to study some research papers which are basically some review papers. That's why more and more researchers try to find the review papers, and hence citation also increases. But don't think about these things, because you are in the initial stage of your research career, so you have to start your publications, might be in the form of conference or might be in the form of full articles. Now, a thing which is a very common thing, impact factor. Might be you have heard this term several times. Now, what is an impact factor? Impact factor basically measures. It's basically an open journal. Okay, impact factor is a journal that has to be kept in mind. So, impact factor is basically measuring the reflection, the average number of citations to recent articles published in the journal. Okay, so it's the measure. That measure actually it has been introduced by Garfield, and obviously journals with high impact factors deemed to be more important than with lower ones. I have given an example to make you understand. Say, for example, if a journal has an impact factor of 3 in 2020, I'm saying, so I want to find out which journal I want to publish. I found that, yes, this journal has an impact factor of 3. It is showing 3 into 2020. Then what does it mean? It means that its papers published in 2018 and 2019 received 3 citations each on average in 2020. That's the concept of impact factor. Okay, so that's why you can see more and more number of visitors are there for your paper. So that's the important thing, and it rises the citations. And when your citations are rising, that means your journal is publishing good works, and hence that journal is also getting high impact factor. That is the importance of impact factor. Then there is another very important term, H index. What does H index means? H index is basically is an index which basically attempts to measure both the productivity and impact of the published work of a scientist or a scholar or whatever it is. So a scholar, say for example, has with an index of 8. So what does it mean? That means that he has published 8 papers, each of which has been cited in other papers at least 8 times. So you can understand that you have published your index. If you go to Google, you will find that what is your index. when you are publishing. You can find there 8 index. So what does it mean? That I have published 8 number of papers, each of which has been cited in other papers at least 8 times. So that means if your work is a good one, then it will be cited by more and more number of researchers, and then your index will rise. So it's basically an alternative to more traditional journal impact factor, which I have just mentioned in my previous slide, in the evaluation of the impact of your work of any researcher actually. And obviously, you can understand that it depends on academic age. What does it mean? So it goes on accumulating. That is, age index will grow as citations will accumulate, and thus it depends on the academic age of a researcher. So I have published this paper, say, into 2010. So after 10 years, my impact factor will be, age index will be high, and after again 5 years, it will be more high. So like this, it will go on increasing with my academic age, not the age. Academic age means when you have published the first paper, from then on it starts. Another type is I-10 index, which has recently been introduced by Google. Okay, it indicates the number of academic publications with at least 10 citations from others. So how many times it has been cited, your work? That is I-10 index. So 10, because 10 citations are required. It was introduced in July 2011 by Google as part of their work on Google Scholar, basically, which is, a research search engine dedicated to academic and the related papers. So that's what I-10 index means. Now, the most important thing, that how to make a choice of a particular journal. Which journal I will publish? That is very important. Which journal I want to publish? Okay. So you have to choose one journal. How you will make the choice? So first of all, read recent publications in your field, then find out specific journal details. You have to first make up your mind that which type of research area I will work on or I try to publish. Then you have to go to the journal pages, and when you are doing that particular literature research, you will see that this type of journals are being publishing this type of works. So once you get an idea that which type of journals will publish this type of works, then you go to the web page of that particular journal and try to find out the scope of that journal, whether your research work is at all within the scope of that particular journal or not. That is very important. So find out the specific journal details. And that's I have written, beware of phishing, because publishers and editors rarely solicit papers from authors, and usually only as an invitation for review articles. In recent times, you can find in your mail different journals are contacting you for their publication for your paper. They're saying you just send their paper, it will be published. So these are all not good journals. So publishing in those journals will not add so much value to your career. So beware of that, because as I have said, the good journals will rarely ask you to send articles, because they have lots of articles to publish. So they are not in shortage of any article. So they will rarely contact you. In fact, they will not contact you unless you are a true expert in that particular field. Only then they can contact you for review articles. So this is the website where you can see which are the UGC recognized journals. Unless you publish your research findings in some UGC recognized journals, its value is nil. So don't go for any other journal outside this particular web. There you will find, this will give you the search which journals are accepted by UGC. Outside those, it means nothing for us. There are certain journals in UGC which are outside SCI or Scopus indexed, but throughout the world, SCI or Scopus indexed journals are even the most, are said they are the most valuable. So always try for this type of journals. UGC here which is the website which will give you some journals, list of journals. Many journals are there, thousands of journals are there, which some of them are SCI Scopus, some of them are not. So better you go for SCI or Scopus index journals. Then I will say that for any journal to publish, you will straight away go to journals guide for authors, and this will include the types of papers accepted, like the editorial team contact information, the graphic specifications, how you have to submit your graphics, that is the figures, the pictures which are there, what is the acceptable language there, what will be the approximate paper length, and other different details are there. I have given a screenshot of that. This is a simple Elsevier. You can see for each journal there is a guide for authors. So guide for authors is a very good thing. After consulting this, you prepare your particular paper. So in summary, what steps do I need to take before I write my paper? One is determine if you are ready to publish. First of all, you have to think whether your work is really publishable or not. If you are a new entrant in this, then consult with your guide under whom you are working. He will be definitely having more experience than you, and he or she, whoever is there, he or she will have more experience than you, and he or she will guide you also whether yes, your work is ready to publish or not. And decide on the type of manuscript, what type of paper you want, whether conference, journal, or review paper. Then make a choice of the target journal where you want to publish. Then after making the choice of a journal, go to guide for authors and then prepare your manuscript as per their specifications. Okay. But one thing to be made clear, that while working for these research papers, it might happen that you are sending your research papers and it gets rejected. Don't lose your heart, because this is an area where you are working on, and might be your work is not that high quality, so it has not been published. But you will have to try to make it some more improvements so that it gets published on the next time. So don't lose your heart. That's very important. Now, as I have said, why is language important? Okay. That said, save your editor and reviewers the trouble of guessing what you mean. That is very important. So yes, the publishers often provide resources for authors who are less familiar with the conventions of international journals. They are giving it on a payment basis also. In certain cases, they are giving the particular service free basis also. So some publishers even perform technical screening prior to review, actually prior to peer review. They are making a technical screening also. But if it is the author's responsibility to use proper language, okay, prior to submission. Full copy editing is only done after an article is accepted. I am just giving you one example why language is important. This I have removed the name which paper. So basically what he's saying, this paper fell well below my threshold. I refuse to spend time trying to understand what the author is trying to say. So that obviously you can understand the language was not clear. Besides, I really want to send a message that they can't submit garbage to us and expect us to fix it. So my rule of thumb is that if there are more than 6 grammatical errors in the abstract, then I don't waste my time carefully reading the text. So you can understand, it's very important how you present your report. That is very important. So every time we are telling you that while writing a report, you should be very clear about these things. So don't make lots of grammatical errors. Language should be lucid. Everything should be lucid. That's important. Okay, that's very important. So do publishers correct language? As already I have said, yes, they do it, but not for always, and not for always free also. It might be paid service. So scientific language overview, write with clarity, objectivity, accuracy, and brevity. So that's important what I have said. And key to successful scientific writing is to be alert to common errors. The first is sentence construction. So these are very common. While you are writing some articles, be very clear to write direct and short sentences. one idea or piece of information per sentence is sufficient. Do not jumble up so many ideas in one sentence. That will be a very difficult way to present your research. And avoid multiple statements in one sentence. That's very important. Okay. Then incorrect tenses I have read. Already I have shown you that 6 grammatical errors they have said. So you just for a rule of thumb, you can hear this, that present tense for known facts and hypothesis you have to write. Like I am giving one example from my particular paper. So present tense for known facts and hypothesis, like I have written, I have shown that also for flower pollination algorithm. So flower pollination algorithm is I am writing. So present tense I am writing is an efficient and popular swarm intelligence based meta heuristic technique. So while I am writing a known fact, I am writing present tense. And anyway, past tense also you can write where for experiments you have conducted. Okay, like I am giving an example again from my particular paper. So the proposed methodology has been tested, okay, against the optical systems in designing superachromatic retarder. So there are certain কেটে যাচ্ছে, শোনা যাচ্ছে?
স্যার হালকা হালকা কেটে আসছে, মানে
প্রত্যেকবারই কেটে যাচ্ছে। সবার ক্ষেত্রে কি কেটে যাচ্ছে নাকি না? আচ্ছা, নেটওয়ার্কের প্রবলেম থাকতে পারে। এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে না কেটে যাচ্ছে এখনো?
না স্যার, এখনো সেই একই কেটেই আসছে।
সবার ক্ষেত্রে কি তাই আসছে? একটু বলবে অন্যরা, তাহলে আমি বুঝতে পারবো। কেটে যাচ্ছে
না স্যার,
স্যার মাঝে মধ্যে কেটে যাচ্ছে।
মাঝে মধ্যে তো কাটবে বাবা, এখন যা নেটওয়ার্কের প্রবলেম। আচ্ছা, কেটে গেলে আমাকে আরেকবার একটু তুমি ইয়ে করে দিও, হ্যাঁ, আমাকে ইন্টারাপ্ট করে একটু বলে দিও। So again, past tense, as I have said, that for experiments you have conducted, you can write. Then past tense also you can write when you describe the results of an experiment. Okay, so these are the things you have to keep in mind about incorrect tenses. Then inaccurate grammar, it is also very important. So active voice, where you will use normally we should use active voice to shorten the sentences. Like for example, passive voice, if I say it has been found that there had been, like this we can write, but in short we can write we found that. So like this, try to be very specific. Then normally avoid abbreviations like it's, weren't, hasn't. Don't do that. And another very important thing I will mention, that never use them in scientific writing. Or which types of things I mentioned, that like abbreviations which are very known, like DNA you can use, but don't make your own abbreviations unless and until you specify that abbreviation prior to using that abbreviation in anywhere in the body. Okay, so minimize, again, use adverbs, minimize the use of adverbs like however, in addition, moreover, like these things. Try to not use them. Eliminate some redundant phrases, and obviously double check on these unfamiliar words or phrases. And finally, I will say that don't mix up your language. Try to be if it is in English, check the guide for authors of the target journal. Already I have said, for any language specifications. Okay. Then the general structure of a full article. Okay, this is a structure where the first thing is title, then there will be abstract, then there will be keywords. As I have said, that this make them easy for indexing and searching, informative, attractive, and effective. This has to be, the title has to be very informative, abstract has to be very informative and attractive also, and keywords should be written in such a way that they help to search that your particular. This will obviously your keyword, writing of keywords will increase the citation also. Okay, so be very careful by writing the keywords. And main text, I have written it IMRAD. What is IMRAD? I is introduction, M is methods, results, and discussions. So these are the main things. And I have written it, journal space is precious. Make your article as brief as possible. Don't go on over exaggerating same thing again and again. Then finally, there will be conclusion, acknowledgement, references, and supporting materials anywhere. So this will be discussed in detail by Sutapa madam after me. So you will get an understanding how to write it. So title, as I have said, that tell readers what your paper is all about. So attract the reader's attention. That is very important about title. So if you will be very specific about the title, don't make it very long. Keep it informative and concise. Don't make it long. Avoid jargon and abbreviations. Don't use abbreviations in your title unless it's a very well-known, like I have already given an example of DNA. Then what is abstract? Abstract actually tells the readers what you did and what are the important findings in it. It will be one paragraph. So it's a gist. It's a gist, make it so much attractive and so much informative that the reviewer or the editor will first see your abstract only. And this is basically the advertisement for your article. So a clear abstract will strongly influence if your work is considered further or not. Whether your abstract will is very good one, your work will be further considered. And your abstract is not a good one, they will just reject it because they have so many articles with them. Okay. Keywords, as I have said, that is used by indexing and abstracting services. So they are the levels of your manuscript. Good keywords will increase the citation. Use only established abbreviations. I have already specified DNA. Check the guide for authors as they are specifying. The different journals have different types of specifications for keywords. So first consult that and go for that. Then what is introduction? Introduction is basically it will provide the context to convince readers that you clearly know why your work is useful. You have to specify why your work is useful. Then only I will go for your work. So what are the methods? What describe actually how the problem was being studied, and it will include detailed information. Do not describe previously published procedures. That is not important. You just mention, yes, this has been done, but don't describe their procedures. That is not yours. So identify the equipment and describe the materials used. What type of, if it's experimental work, then you have to use this, otherwise not. So what are the results? What have you found? What is the essential or primary result? Isn't that only? Use subheadings if it is required, and figures and illustrations are very important. So graphs, tables, photos, these are very important. Either of them or all of them you may use as per your requirement. Discussion is what? It is basically what the results mean, and one of the most important sections. Okay, so make the discussions correspond to the results, and you need to compare the published results with yours. Okay, what result you have obtained and you want to publish, you have to just compare your results with the already published results. Then only you can satisfy the reviewers. Then what is conclusion? That is how the work advances the field from the present state of knowledge. You should be very clear. So how it is giving some advantage over the already existing ones. Justify your work in a scientific field, as I have said. So suggest some future works also. That is for conclusion. This will be discussed by Madam later on. Then there comes the acknowledgements. Okay, so ensures those who helped in the research are recognized. So include every individual who have assisted your study. Okay, including, say, for example, some your advisor, if some financial burden is there, so financial supporters who are there, who are the proofreaders. If you have not typed it, your typist, even the supplier who have given you some materials for the experiment, he or she, they also have to be acknowledged. So this is very clear. Everybody has to be acknowledged. References, as I already said, cite the main scientific publications on which work has been based. Do not use too many references unless it is required. And be very clear about, from guide to authors, you will find the reference template is there. So each journal has different reference template. So based on that, you make your references. Avoid excessive self-citations. You have published some papers, you are going on referencing those papers again and again. So don't do that. If it is at all required, you have to do it, but don't use excessive self-citations. Then avoid excessive citations of publications from the same region. That is also very important. All the works I am citing, they are all from, say, India. So don't do that. Go globally. Find out wherever a good work is there, you can cite that. Conform strictly to the style given in the guide for authors. Already I have discussed this. Finally, your cover letter. It's very important. It's basically your chance to speak to the editor directly. It has to be submitted along with your manuscript. So mention what would make your manuscript special to the journal. Why your manuscript will be accepted. So mention it very clearly. I will give you one example. Note special requirements if there is any special requirements. Sometimes the journals ask for your who the potential reviewers are. So you have to specify the reviewers also. If there is any conflict of interest, that also you have to specify. So these are very important. I have given one example just. So as you see, both authors have read and approved the final version submitted. So this is a cover letter. So it's a cover letter where it is said that final approval from all authors. So you are not the sole author. You might be the corresponding author, but there may be 2 or 3 authors other. So you have to be very careful that all of them has approved. So write it out in your cover letter. Then explanation of importance of research. So you can see this is of large practical importance for the paper industry. So their work has been why it should be considered. So because a letter is just a simple thing, you can see. So you have to specify the things which will attract the editor to further suggest your thing for the reviewers. And they have given some potential reviewers' name also. So suggested reviewers. It is not that you have given these names and they will send this paper to those people only, but from your side, you have done it. Okay. Finally, I will say be aware of plagiarism. That is very important. What is plagiarism? It's basically an act or instance of using or closely imitating the language, or it might be the thoughts of another author without authorization, obviously, without authorization of his or her, and the representation of that author's work as your own. What we are generally accustomed in these days, what we do, we go to the internet, we search something, we copy and paste it out. Don't do that. It will be automatically be cancelled out. So without prior permission from his or her work, you cannot do this thing. And there are different softwares available nowadays. So if you think that they cannot understand whether you have copied it or not, they will understand it definitely and they will reject it. So be aware of these things. With this, I want to come to the end of my lecture. Thank you. If you have any questions, you may ask me.
Sir, where to promote this after making the research paper?
I cannot get you. Please tell me again.
Sir, as you told that you need to find a journal and then publish it. So I want to know, like if I got a topic and then I want to promote it, then where can I discuss and all?
That I have already said. That say first of all, the first thing is that you have to make a choice of the topic. Once you make the choice of the topic, then you go to say internet only, Google, and Google it and see what are the recent works being done. And there you will get that which are the journals or conferences where it has been published already. Then download those, find out what type of journals are they, and then go to the web pages of those particular journals. And there you will get the scope, whether you can promote your research work in that particular journal or not. If it suffices with your work, then definitely you can go for that. Otherwise, not. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If anybody has any other question, you may ask me.
Sir, how to use images in the paper free of copyright issues and plagiarism?
Images means you want to use some other person's image?
Yeah, means suppose you are telling about flower pollination algorithm. Suppose I placed the image of flower pollination. I have to use the image taken by me, or from the internet I can take it.
First of all, flower pollination algorithm is a meta-heuristic technique. It's not any image. Anyway, about image, if you are saying, if you use any other person's image from any other journal, say for example, there is a journal and somebody has published one image there, and you want to use that image in your work. That is your question, na? That is your question, I think. Yes. If you want to publish that, then you have to contact that particular journal for the copyright restriction, and you have to take a written permission from them that you can use their particular. I have personally in my one of my book chapters in Springer, I had to take 2 or 3 pages from 2 or 3 journals. So I had contacted with them. Then they have given me permission for 3 images, and I have to specify those, that what is the permission being given to me, and I have to enclose those permissions with my paper. Then only it gets selected. So that is very important, that you have to have the prior permission. Unless and otherwise, you cannot do it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Do you have any question?
So is it mandatory to publish any research paper in the 4th year?
Mandatory means your MAC out you are saying?
Yes, sir.
See, paper publishing cannot be any mandatory requirement, but it will give you weightage. Okay. So paper definitely, say for example, there are 2 persons with the same knowledge base appearing for any interview, and they are for your first interview, I'm saying, not afterwards after certain experiences, for your first interview in the, say for example, campus interview. And there, if X has 2 papers and Y doesn't have, but the knowledge base is same, so definitely X will get the preference over Y. That's the thing. But no mandatory, it is not mandatory. But always I will always suggest that go for it. It is an experience, and it will bring you lots of joy also for you when you see that your name has been published, and I Google your paper, your name comes out. So it gives you immense pleasure also. That is what research means. This.
Okay, sir.
Any other person? Okay, then I think no other question is there. So I can round off my lecture and hand over to Sutapa madam now. Okay. Over to you, Atri.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was a very informative session. So our next speaker for today is Dr. Sutapa Mukherjee, ma'am. Dr. Sutapa Mukherjee has completed BSc in Physics from Lady Bromon College, Calcutta University. She has done her BTech and MTech in Electrical Engineering from Jadavpur University, from the Department of Applied Physics from Calcutta University, and she has done her PhD from Jadavpur University under the guidance of Dr. Vishwanath Roy. Dr. Mukherjee is associated with PP Poddar Institute of Management and Technology as a faculty member in the Department of Electrical Engineering since 2003. I will request ma'am to take over and continue the session, please.
Okay, Atri, thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to all of you. From our previous speaker, honorable speaker, Professor Arijit Saha, you have learned, or basically rather got a brief idea regarding the art of writing a technical paper, regarding impact factor, types of manuscripts, general structure of a full article, and publication of paper. So now I will share a case study so that you can get a clear idea regarding how to write a paper. PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today our presentation is basically on call for paper writing and research report on innovation. Already sir has told, if you want to write a paper, what will be the structure of paper? Title, abstract, keywords, introduction, computation of block diagram, case study, results and analysis, and different, different statistical significance tests or different analysis, how to do it, conclusion, different design concept, acknowledgement and references. I think each and everybody are now acquainted with all these terms because sir has told right now. Okay, now I come to my paper. My paper, which is published in IET, that is in the Institution of Engineering and Technology. So the title of my paper was Comparative Study on Analysis of Daylight Glare from Windows for Different Seasons. Okay, so now my paper is basically on the term glare. So you can ask me the question, what is glare? What is the definition of glare? Glare is basically a discomfort vision, right? It can be defined as any excessively bright source of light within the visual field that creates discomfort and loss in visibility. Okay. Now, what is abstract is here? That is a comparative study on visual comfort level experienced by the occupants in a daylit room designated by the parameter DGI. Actually, we are dealing with daylight, right? And because we are dealing with daylight, so daylight glare is calculated in the form of quantified parameter, that is daylight glare index, that is DGI. Now, this is the total abstract, what I have done here, and what is the software I have used here, what is the method I have used here for different window orientations, north, east, south, west, and to directions of view, like I am just steering to the window, directed to the window and 45 degrees away from the window, right? And now come to the next slide, because abstract is the solid total part of the paper. So I already have told you what is glare. There are two types of glare, discomfort glare and disability glare, and daylight is basically discomfort glare. Okay, so what is the formula I have used here for my paper writing and for data analysis? The formula I have used here, Hopkinson Cornell large source glare formula, right? So DGI, that is equal to 10 log 0.478 summation of LS to the power 1.6 omega 0 to the 0.8 LB plus 0.07 omega to the power 0.5 LS. So this is the formula, and LS, basically what is LS? Source luminance. What is LB? Surround luminance. So if you want to see the room in presence of daylight, not in the presence of artificial light, because it is daylight, so the source, that is the sun, the light is coming from sun, and that is called daylight. How can you calculate the DGI? So these parameters will be included in this term, that is background luminance, source luminance, and the solid angle subtended by the source at the eye, and the total solid angle subtended by the source modified for the effect of the position of its elements in different parts of the field of view. Now for the paper writing, you have to take some input parameters, right? So in my paper, the input parameters were room dimension 6 meter, 5 meter, 3 meter, length, height, and the width. Window dimension was there, 20% of the floor area. 5 into 6, that is 30 meters square, that 20% will give the window dimension. Window height was 1.5 meter and window width was 4 meter. Ceiling, wall and floor reflectance was 60%, 60% and 10%. Glazing material was oceanic blue and working plane height was 0.8 meter fixed, and window seal height was 1 meter. What is seal height? Seal height is basically defined as the distance from the floor to the starting of the window. Now, before going details, already I have told you that I have used the MATLAB platform here, okay? And using the MATLAB platform, I have calculated the DGI. Before going that, you have to calculate all these parameters and then you will be able to get the DGI value. So using MATLAB, just I am showing you how to get the LS. Then it will be interesting for you. This is a MATLAB program, okay? And if I run the program, here it is n. N means the parameter. Basically, there are 15 types of sky, right? Out of 15 types of sky, what is the sky is prevailing in Kolkata or in Roorkee, whatever may be the area. I am dealing with Kolkata data. So I have already in my previous paper, I have published that what is the type of sky is prevailing in Kolkata. So the number is here 15. And window normal. Basically, if you think the orientation of the window, that will be if 0 degree, then it is north position. If it is 90 degree, then it is east position. If it is 180 degree, then it is south position, right? In gradually it will be like that. And I'm choosing here 0. Okay. Then this is the isolux diagram of the LS, that is the source luminance value. From this isolux diagram, it is very clear that this is the length of the room, that is 30 meter, and it is the width of the room, that is 20. And if you just look at the isolux diagram, it is very clear that if you go through like this, away from this, then the value of the isolux value, that is lux value, is more here because the position of the window is here. Because at the when the window is at the position, window position, definitely the daylight will come more near the window compared to the position away from the window, right? Now come to the PPT again. Okay. And in this program part, here is, I have opened a file, F open direct elome. If you type here the name of the file, then you will be able to get the data, right? All these values will give the source luminance value. And if you select it and put it in an Excel sheet, then you will be able to show all this data. Just see, this is starting from 55 and it is variable value, and at the position of the window, this is the higher value of lux, right? Now we come back to PPT again. Already I have told you why I have chosen the n is equal to 15, because CIE, general standard sky luminance distribution, we have chosen here 15 number of skies, okay? So the 15 number of skies, out of that 15 number of skies, that is this sky, white blue turbid sky with broad solar corona. And this is the type of sky I have discovered that this type of sky is prevailing in Kolkata. Okay. Now this is the isolux diagram. Already have got through the MATLAB. Okay. Now there is no particular instrument you have to measure the glare value. Okay. So you have to compare the glare value with a particular scale. Just intolerable value, that is DGI value, will be 28. And if it is 26, that is uncomfortable. If it is 24, that is just uncomfortable. If it is 22, that is acceptable. If it is just acceptable, then the value is 20. Okay. So on the basis of the chart, it will be in discomfort zone or comfort zone, you will decide. Now, there was a combination of different W normal and observer normal. Okay. So the combinations was, if it is not, then the observer will see across the window or away 45 degree away from window. So this is be north or northeast. or it is, if the window position is east, that is 90 degree, then observer position will be say 90 degree or southeast. And if it's south, that is 180 degree, then it is south and southwest. And if the position is 270, then observer position may be 270 or 315. Definitely there will be different observer position, but I have calculated taking the observer position, these two types, on the basis of the window normal is north, east, south and west. Okay. Now these are all the data which I have got from the MATLAB simulation, software simulation for different time interval, right? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Up to all this time, and for different stations points, I have got all these DGI value. If you just look into all these values, then it will be very clear that at the position of the window 3, 4, the value is, the DGI value is more high, because at that position you are getting more daylight from the window, right? And definitely it is for clear sky, not for overcast sky. Now this is the position of window normal 0 degree, and this is the for window normal 45 degree. Just if you look here, when the observer is just looking directly to the window, the value of the DGI is more compared to when the observer site is away from the window, that is 45 degree, right now. So this is lower compared to this one. Now what I have done here, I have compared the DGI, that is daylight glare index value, for different seasons, summer, winter and equinox. And during the bar chart, I have seen here for different, different time and different DGI value for different window normal and for different season. All, and these are all the station points here, summer. And you can ask me, man, how can you determine the value of J? What is J? J is the day number. You have to put the J number in the program. So how can you calculate the J? Because if it is 15 January, J will be 15. From January, it is from 1 to 31st. And if it is February, then if it is 15th February, then it will be 15 plus, 31 plus 15, right? In this way, you have to calculate the J value. Because 15 January, so 1 to 15, that will be 15. J will be 15. In this way, J equal to 74. Because 31 is for January, 28 is for February, and 15 March, that's it, 15. Then if you add January 31 and February 28 plus 15, then you will be able to get J equal to 74. Okay, this is also the DGI value for different time aspect, and these are all the stations points here. For different station point, you will get different DGI value, because for the different position, the daylight is coming from the window. On the basis of the position away from window or near the window, the value of the sky luminance will be different. On the basis of that, DGI value will differ. Okay. Now I am showing you the result analysis. You have now, using MATLAB and using that particular formula, you have got all the data. Now how can you justify the data? How can you analyze the data? On the basis of the confidence limit. There are different types of items using which you can justify your analysis. I have used here statistical significance test for different season. Now how to do in the Excel file? Just I am showing an example. Say for window normal 90 degree, for observer position 45 degree north, and for different time, I have collected all the, calculated all the DGI value using the MATLAB program. Now, how to calculate the confidence limit? Initially, what you have to do, you have to take the sum, after that the mean of that, variance of that, write this, and standard deviation, after that confidence, this is this, and after this the confidence interval, E this plus mean, and this is this minus mean. Okay, after getting all the upper confidence, lower confidence, and the mean value, you have to you'll be able to determine the confidence limit. Just select all these terms and go to insert, scatter, and here, sorry, all check types, stock, this select the stock, and okay. So this is the upper confidence limit, this is the lower confidence limit, this is the mean value. Because in this case, what is happening here, this point is in between upper and lower. So you have to consider this value. On this way, I have just explained, I have just got on the basis of the confidence limit, what will be the position of the DGI value, and after determining the value, upper, lower, and the mean data, I have to compare. I think you remember the scale, multiple criterion scale, you remember that. This is the scale. If the value is greater than 28 or equal to 28, that will be just intolerable. And if it is 24, just uncomfortable. Is 20 just acceptable, right? So in this way, I have used here confidence limit. I have shown how to justify the data using the confidence limit. So this is the results for different statistical significance tests for winter, for equinox, and for summer. So what I have started from this, title, abstract, keywords, what introduction, computation of block diagram, case study, results and analysis, statistical significance test, next come to conclusion, design, acknowledgement, and references. So if I come to my paper now, then you will get an idea what I have done here. Now this is the paper. So after writing the title, okay, and writing the keywords, what will be the keywords? Keywords is basically what Saha has said. This is the main words of the paper through which you can get the idea on which basis the paper is written, right? So already I have told the paper is written on daylight glare index. So I have given here DGI and unified glare rating NGI, large source glare formula. What do you mean by large source glare formula? Because initially the glare was due to artificial source, right? And large source means the window, when coming light from window, it is a large source, and it is called large source glare formula. Discomfort glare, confidence limit, multiple criterion scale, and CIE, that is International Commission on Illumination, who has given that 15 types of sky. So after discussion, we have to put the keywords and you have to give the abstract part, right now? Then what you have to give in the introduction part? What is introduction? Basically, the introduction part should answer the why. Why I have chosen that topic for research, why I have adopted a particular method or approach. Main part of the introduction is the background information of the research work. Basically, before your work or before my work, what is the previous works on this topic of different research workers have done. Actually, this introduction part contains the literature review of that particular paper. So what I have written over here, before my work, different scientists, different research scholars have done different work on this glare part, right? And this is your reference actually, I have mentioned here. So, like say during 1920, what had happened? During 1920, a group of American investigators studied the effect of glare due to artificial light source. Okay. Now come to second reference. Later, Stiles and his collaborators devoted this attention. So in this way, you have to see that before your work, different scientists or different research workers have done what type of work on that particular topic, right? And now come to, already I have told you the DGI formula I have used here, that is Hopkinson Cornell large source glare formula, and this is the multiple criterion scale I have told you, and the method to calculate DGI. I told you the different observer position and different window normal I have calculated using the MATLAB software simulation for a particular room and for a particular window. Now this is the case study, and this is the block diagram. Actually, this block diagram represents what you have done that in the whole paper, how you have to done it, input, and then source luminance, then calculation of this, then calculation of solid angle. I have told already. And now come to results and analysis. I have explained how to get all the results, and all I have told you in my PPT. These are all the confidence limit diagram. Now already I have explained statistical significance test. Okay. Now after that you have come to conclusion what basically you have got in your paper. So after the simulated results, what we have got here, for all window orientations, visual discomfort level exceed the allowable maximum limit when the occupant's line of sight coincide with the direction of the window, right now. And if the occupant's sight is away from the window, then the DGI value will be small. And definitely the DGI value will be different for different glazing material. I think I have told you as an input parameter, I have used here oceanic blue. Now, what do you mean by acknowledgement? Acknowledgement means here I have acknowledged the support received from Dr. R. Kittler, because he has sent me a paper. And I also acknowledge ISLE, Mr. P.K. Bandopadhyay, and CBRI. So I have calculated all the research works with the Building Research Institute, that is CBRI data, and they have given the data. On the basis of that, I have been able to determine what type of sky is prevailing in Kolkata, right? Now come to references. So what will be the type of references? Already sir has told, on different conferences or different journal, there are particular reference, structure. So here the reference structure is the name of the author. Just come here. This is my paper. My name is Sutapa Mukherjee, and this is another paper. Title of the paper: Comparative Study on Energy Savings due to Daylight and Artificial Lighting Integration for Different Glazing Materials. So the name of the author, title of the paper, and year. Where is it published? That is, it is a conference paper, and you have to give the page number from this to that, and you have to give the year, right? So this is the last one, that is the references. Okay, this is all how to write a paper. And if anybody has any question, then you can ask me, please.
Anindo, IT, do you want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Actually, I have explained all these things on the basis of my published paper, okay? And if you choose your topic, then you will proceed in this way. That is why I have explained the how to write a paper using a case study, right now.
Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you hear
And
me?
for your advantage, I mean, you can use also machine learning or neural network, that is a part of artificial intelligence, right? Because if you deal with a large, huge number of data, then out of 80% data, you can take the input data as the training data and 20% as the testing data, right? And you can get you can use the model. You can create a model using the neural network or machine learning and for a particular output, and then you will be able, for a particular input, the machine will give you the particular output.
Ma'am, the
Okay.
data reference can be taken from anywhere, any site.
For which topic?
Ma'am, for a particular topic where I want to use my machine learning program. For example, I'm using a Panda software.
Like image processing, I think many data are available in the net, different images. But for each and every topic, it is not possible to get the data, right?
In that case, ma'am, do I need to create data? Like that, something?
Using software, you can create the data for particular input. Definitely, you have to give input, you have to use the formula. It is not possible to create the data without any input, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just I was asking for, like, if I create a model and then from where I can get so much data, like for a particular.
You can.
Raunak, do you want to ask anything?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt at that time.
Yes.
I have a question, ma'am. For example, if I want to write a research paper on topic A, and I need some materials for which I will write the basic. I mean, I have to find out more about the topic. So if I go to a library and get some books, in my citation, do I have to mention the book or just the excerpts I have to mention, like the author only?
In the reference?
And ma'am, how much percentage of data I can use for a book or a previous research paper that does not entail plagiarism or totally copied content? 10% or 20% I can quote them. I mean to ask.
I think in the reference you have to refer the books. That's all.
Ma'am, for example, from a previous research paper, I take 10 to 20% of their research and I add a little bit of something new.
I think Arijit sir has told you that if you want to take anything, any data or you have to take the written permission from that one, right?
Okay, then I have to just mail them or contact with them first.
Yeah, definitely. You have to
Okay,
the written acknowledgement. I have, sir, whatever he or she, you have to take the permission that you have to use all the data from that time. Or not all, whatever you need it.
Ma'am, I have another question.
Okay.
In a research paper, is it always necessary to give a case study?
Actually, I have written in this way. Not necessary you have to write in that format. You can write in another format or in another words. And in case of different journal or different conference, they will give a template. Okay.
Okay.
They will give a template. Just now I am showing.
Ma'am, that was my question too, ma'am. If we don't have a case study, then can it be a conference paper, something like that?
You don't have any case study. Then what do you have?
No, ma'am. In a paper, if is it mandatory to create a case study? That is why that was my question too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just let me finish. Like this is the template for IET research journal paper, where I have submitted the paper which I have explained right now. Okay. So what they have told here: title, introduction, language spelling, grammar, length, page formatting, page layout, what will be the font size, okay, and what will be the figure, and how can you give the name, give the title, say 5 and under 5, 5.3.1. This is not your answer. Just I'm explaining, and after that I will give your answer. Okay. and then tables. Actually, I forgot to show this. Okay. Is there any case study? Is there any written over here? Case study is written over here? I think no.
Your
No,
screen
ma'am.
is not visible, ma'am.
Oh, screen is not visible. I'm not. Yes. Definitely screen is visible because I am presenting.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I can see you.
I think, ma'am, I didn't pin it. Okay.
Now is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the template actually. And your question is, you have to give case study or not. On what basis you have to write the paper? Without any case, you are not able to write the paper without any context. What do you want to say?
Ma'am, for example, I will write a paper on the effect of blue light on eyes or retina, the damage.
Okay. Definitely
So-
there is a case study. What you have done, what is the data you have obtained from that? You have to study that,
Ma'am,
right?
so in that case, that how do I have to derive a formula myself, that amount of damage to the eyes versus hours of time in mobile or screens?
Yeah.
Then I have to derive the formula myself for the case study.
Yeah. This is the study. What you have, basically you have to gather some data, na? What you are doing, what you have told, the effect of light
Ma'am,
on
the
your,
effect of blue light
yeah.
on eyes or retina damage of blue light from mobile, smartphone, laptops.
Okay. Then how to proceed?
Ma'am, I just thought after seeing that I had an idea about this, because in my case, because of repeated uses of laptops and mobile for at least 10 hours a day, my eye power increased a sudden spike of almost -2. So I thought that if that happens to me, why not the same will happen to every other students due to repeated online work from home or online studies.
Okay,
So if
basically
I can,
you want to do the subjective analysis, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the case study.
Then I have to find the data, ma'am. That's why I'm confused. That if I don't get relevant data, then how will I make a formula for case study or something like that?
Now you are not using here any formula. You are just giving the subjective study.
Ma'am, is it different?
No. Basically, what I have done here, I have used a formula. On the basis of that formula, I have got the DGI value. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. But if I don't use the formula, just I do the subjective study, the most of the say 100 students are present in a room. Okay. And I am asking, what is your vision? Just individually. The light is coming from the window. Okay. And I am asking, say individually A, what is your vision? He is telling or she is telling that, ma'am, it is comfortable. Then I will write on the multiple criteria scale. Do you remember? Say if it is under that comfort zone, it will be say 22.
Yes, I'm like 22, you wrote it, 28.
Yeah. This is the subjective study. And on the basis of that, I can draw the graph.
Okay, ma'am. For example, if I want to get the data, then I can just take a short survey on it.
Yes, this is on the basis of the survey.
Okay, ma'am.
That depends on the context or what is the topic that you have chosen, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And a lot of thanks to our students, my dear students, and you are so interested to listen to our topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And again, thank you, sir. It was a very informative event and it was well explained. So we got to know a lot of things. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and thank you everyone for participating.
And in the chat box, I am sharing my email address. If you want to ask any question, you can.
Okay, ma'am, and I will share the feedback. So please fill it up accordingly, everyone.
Okay, I am also sharing my mail address. If you want, you can.
Yes. Arijit sir is sharing his mail address. Because we are in the academic field, we have to think regarding different papers, different publications, right? And I think most of the students are definitely interested for your higher studies and for publication of paper. And if you want to do this, you will start from somebody has asked, ma'am, sir, it is compulsory to write a paper in the 4th year. But if you want to, if you write the paper on your project, then definitely you will get an idea and you will be very happy if you see your name on the published paper.
But it is an even advantage for the higher studies. Just as in curiosity, ma'am, I ask, ma'am, is it a mandatory thing or something like good for higher studies?
But you are asking me higher study is good or not, right?
No, ma'am, not that. I'm just wondering, for example, for an higher studies, a research paper can give an advantage, right?
Yes,
Definitely.
It will give advantage.
Definitely. Okay, we can stop over here. Anybody has any questions to Arijit sir or to me? Okay, thank you, Atri, and thank you all the faculty member present over here.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request everyone to put on their camera so I can take some pictures.
Yes, everybody. Everybody, please on your camera, please. Atri. Atri ki dekhte pehla. It's done?
Yes, done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, teachers.
We can leave now?
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
and please fill up the feedback form, everyone. It's given in the chat box.
Hey, everybody will fill up the feedback form.
Send the feedback form.
It is given on the chat box.
Ma'am, I have a connection problem. That's why.
Again, I have to put over here?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have one last question, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, if I need any further help, can I contact any of the teachers for regarding writing a research paper? Because I have no idea what to do and what to write.
Who is talking, please? Ronak. Okay, okay. Okay, you can contact with Arijit sir or with me or any sir.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, because the topic I told you about the blue light, I want to try it at least once.
Okay, okay. Sure.
Thank you, teachers.
Ronak, you are 3rd year or 4th year or?
I'm second year.
Second year, okay.
Initially I wanted to try for GRE or GMAT. That's why I was interested.
And basically you are interested for higher studies?
Yes, ma'am. Either I want to do MS or MBA.
Oh.
And ma'am, Surojit sir had guided me and told me that if I research papers, it will increase my chances of going for MS in Germany or other countries.
Yes.
Because Germany, the courses are almost free, ma'am, for
Yes.
MS or masters.
But you have to know the German language.
Yes, ma'am. I'm planning to go to Max Muller Bhavan or RBU to learn at least up to A2 level
Oh.
once the pandemic ends.
B1 level is sufficient.
Okay, sir. But the thing is that the cost for Max Muller is almost 14,000 per level. So I'm searching for other optional studies for language learning.
Okay.
So for each level, 14,000.
Yes, it's a little bit costly.
If you know Germany, then you can also opt for German taught language courses. At the same time, it will be helpful for placement drive. Okay. Otherwise, without knowing Germany, you can also apply. No problem.
Yes, sir. I have to
But
also.
of course, competition will be very high.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because I have to give TOEFL also. TOEFL, GRE.
Yes. Okay. And their IELTS is also recognized. Okay. So you can also opt for IELTS. Okay.
I'm thinking of taking further tuition in either on GRE or TOEFL.
Yes.
First, go through the universities. Okay, you want to apply. Okay, and then make a summary of what you want to do. Okay, then it will be very helpful.
In that part, I'm most confused because sometimes I think an MBA is worth learning because of leadership training opportunities and entrepreneurship opportunities. Or sometimes I think I prefer robotics and Arduino very much, like AI and machine learning. So I'm really conflicted whether should I go for MBA or go for masters.
You can do both, no issues. Okay.
But ma'am, I think I'm not a greater caliber, sir. First hurdle is BTech.
ম্যাম ইউনিভার্সিটি রোল নাম্বারটা কি লাস্ট 4 ডিজিটটা?
Actually, কি বলছে গো?
You write the entire university roll number, okay?
Last 4 digits.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Please write the entire university roll number, okay?
Okay, sir.
After lectures of Arijit sir and me, have you got any idea how to write a paper? How is your, publication? What is the journal? How to write the conference?
Ma'am, a basic idea.
Okay, and it will be better if another session will come.
Yes, ma'am. About ma'am the different types, because I didn't know there were so many types like review paper. I thought research paper means only research paper. I didn't know about different types of research paper. Review paper, conference paper.
Review paper
due to shortage of time, we could not. Due to shortage of time, we could not discuss all of them. But if time permits, if given another chance, we can definitely show you some idea about conference paper, review paper, all those things.
Yes, yes.
And Ronak, if you go through the SCI hub, I think you will be able. I have written over in the chat box. I think you know that SCI HUB. Then you will be able to download very good paper for a particular topic. You will go through the Google and write the topic over here and go through the Xi hub, SCI HUB, and most of the good papers you will be able to download on your topic. That is the blue light is coming. Just you will go through Gmail. Google. Yes.
Ma'am, basically I will try, ma'am, because I am not yet confident whether I would be able to do it or not.
No, I think
you will definitely succeed.
I think already if you see different types of papers on that particular topic, then you will get an idea how to write the paper, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you will get the confidence to write the paper. and you will get the guidance how to proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Plus, I have to also focus on college studies and all. I'm already a little behind on the modules. Ma'am, mostly it's because of procrastination.